Welcome to Drumspeak, the place where we talk about drums, life, music, philosophy, and other stuff that doesn't really matter. In today's topic, I want to talk about space. And by space, I mean the distance between, whether it's physical space, like distance like miles, or whether it's distance in time. Before I talk about space, I need to define a few things. I need to define black notes, and I need to define white notes. So black notes are the notes that you see on the page. The white notes, however, are what are between the black notes. They aren't really notes, but they are just as important because the black notes tell you what to play and the white notes tell you what not to play. Why does it matter? The reason it matters is because what you do is just as important as what you don't do. A really good example of this would be words, or whenever you're reading a book, or whenever you're reading in general. The words would be the black notes, and the space between the words would be the white notes. It's the spaces between the words that make them words. Since the whole point of this video is to talk about space, why is it an issue in the first place? The reason why is because in life and in drumming, or music as a whole, people like to rush or make the white space shorter than it needs to be. For example, whenever you hear people talk, especially politicians, they just talk and they just say words and they aren't giving enough space between the words to give them meaning. They want to shorten the white space because they think that what they're saying is more important than how they're saying it. But I believe, and what I've learned through drumming, is that what you say and how you say it are just as important. Like whenever I speak, I put spaces between the things I want to emphasize as important. I don't want to bash politicians, but a lot of politicians are really bad at this, but a lot of politicians are really good at it. Like you'll hear really good politicians whenever they want to, or really good speakers in general, whenever they want to make a point, they go da, 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 just like quarter notes. They purposefully put space to emphasize something. It's the exact same type of thing that happens in drumming. When you hear a clean drum line, what are you hearing? Whenever I was beginning drumming, I thought, oh, they're playing like all the notes perfectly together. And yes, that's true, but that's only one side of it. The drum lines aren't clean because of the black notes. They're clean because of the white space. I used to have this instructor, and anytime we played like a triplet roll, he said that he wanted to drive a train through our diddles. And that really spoke to me because for a train to drive through something, like it has to be like really, really wide. And that's how he wanted us to play our diddles. And I understand now. I didn't understand then exactly what he meant, but I really understand now that to have clean anything, white, you need to focus on the space between the notes. So if that's what makes a drum line clean, what makes a drum line dirty? And after thinking about this for a while, if you put aside like physical ability, I'd argue that it's because they are shortening the space between the notes. I was also taught by another instructor at the same time that if you're going to miss an attack, 99% of the time the attack is going to be early. Through like observation, like I've known that to be true. Anytime I hear a drum line and they play the first note or the second note, because the second note is an attack based off the first note. Just anytime I hear like dirt in a drum line, it's usually never because someone's late. The larger the white space, so like quarter notes, that's harder to play in time than, let's say, eighth notes. Not necessarily like physically. After you've been playing for a while, it's hard to understand that space. So the larger the space, the harder it is to play. Shorter the space, the easier it is to play. In time, I mean, not physically. So after thinking about this, how is it related to real life? How has it affected my real life? How does it affect other people's real lives who think the same way I do? Because I didn't just come up with this. I was taught by this by a lot of different instructors, and some of it I came up with on my own, but a lot of it was from other people. And how does it affect their lives? How does it affect my life? This is the answer. Patience. Our patience as a people is getting shorter and shorter every single year. And a lot of people would argue that it's because of technology, but it's not technology's fault. Technology is just a tool. Tools don't have meaning, or they aren't a tool unless we give them a task, or we make them tools. They aren't anything by themselves. It's our fault that we aren't patient as a people. This is 2016. Usually I don't use years as an argument, but I feel it's appropriate for this. It's 2016, and we have technology that humans haven't had for probably more than 99% of our existence. We have access to things. We have instant access to things that people 30 years ago didn't have access to. That's helped us, but it's also hindered us. How this kind of relates to drumming is this. We're used to playing triplet rolls. It's 2016, everyone can play triplet rolls, right? It's super easy, super comfortable, everyone's good at it. Everyone can play a perfect triplet roll. But when a quarter note comes, you don't know what to do. We have no idea what to do. And how do you fix it? You practice quarter notes. Like how that's related to, so practice quarter notes like drumming, and then practice making the white space between each moment in your life. Practice making it longer. Enjoy the white space. It's there for a reason. Goodbye.